Hello, and welcome to Warhammer 40k's Grim History from Beyond. I'm Zekthar,
And I'm Yuxin.
and we are the chroniclers of all that was, and all that will be in the 41st millennium. We've seen... Nope. Okay.
And today,
yeah, sorry.
and today we have a very special announcement.
I gotta start over. Let's just... Hello, and welcome to Warhammer 40k's Grim History from the Beyond. I'm Zekthar,
And I'm Yuxin.
and we are the chroniclers of all that was, and all that will be in the 41st millennium.
And today we have a very special announcement.
Okay. Third time for posterity. This is weird. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna pull this out.
You say it isn't going to take long, but you realize now we don't have something that's called editing.
Yeah, exactly. All right. I just pulled that out. Where's the... No, I want to... Okay, we're good. I mean, I can't see you, but I can at least see the screen and myself.
You can't see me?
No, I can't see you. But that's okay. I put a thing over the top of your face.
Okay.
Well, no, I put the script up so I can see the script and me.
Ah.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Warhammer 40k's Grim History from the Beyond. I'm Zekthar.
And I'm Yuxin.
And we are the chroniclers of all that was, and all that will be in the 41st millennium.
And today we have a very special announcement.
That's right, Yuxin. So you guys have heard in the last couple of boxes that I have published a book, The Jotunnauts, which is now sold online as an ebook in 15 online stores,
Including Barnes & Nobles as well as Amazon.
Quite right, Yuxin. Now, other than the last two boxes, I haven't really promoted the book because it was only available on ebook. But that is changing this week. I just got the very first copy shipped to me. And after looking through it, I can say we will be starting selling the paperbacks on those same very online stores.
Fantastic. Can't wait to get my hands on it. But for those who haven't read it, like myself, could you give us a brief description on what the book's about?
Okay. Crap.
Fantastic. Can't wait to get my hands on it. But for those who haven't read it, could you give us a brief description on what the book's about?
Certainly. And quite frankly, I can do better than that. At the end of this spiel, there will be a trailer I made a while back, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Anywho, the story is about Elf Ranger Elysius Thornwood as he travels across the lands of Asheraka with her traveling companion, dwarven cartographer Brutus Greyshore. During their travels, they will overcome harsh environments, meet strange people, and perhaps save the world.
Really? Save the world?
Well, not by themselves. But fate is a fickle thing. And like it or not, she has chosen Elysius as a champion.
Sounds like a great read. And remember, folks, not only is this a book I can personally vouch for as being a great read, but every purchase helps our support.
You want to try that again without the cackle in the middle of it?
I have not actually read it.
I thought you read it already. What? I thought you read it. I gave it to you like years ago.
Yeah.
And you said I read. Well, you read part of it. I know you read part of it.
I did read part of it.
Well, did you like the part that you read?
Yeah.
Okay, well then there you go. You can read the rest of it anyways when you buy it on paperback.
Okay.
Okay, just right here. Start right there.
Okay. But every purchase helps our support. But every purchase helps our support No, that doesn't sound right. Helps our support our channel. Okay. But every purchase helps support our channel.
Fucking book.
When we start for there
No,
yet?
I wanted you to just keep going. Jeez, just keep
I
going.
heard you muttering and stuff like,
Yes, that's fine. It's
okay.
supposed to go in with the rest of this.
But
I'm just gonna keep anyways. That goofy anyways is like you start laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? You read the book, right? You're like, no, I didn't read it. I'm gonna keep that in because it would be funny.
Oh.
So then you're gonna go to, but every purchase helps support our channel, you know, kind of thing. And then I'm just gonna be sitting there shaking my head, going, I can't believe you didn't read my freaking book. 10 years wasted.
Okay. But every purchase helps support our channel. So for those of you who have been wanting to support us but didn't feel like getting a membership, please purchase this book.
Indeed. It is selling in e-form right now for $5.99 and in paperback at $19.99.
Great. So folks, like we said, to support our channel and purchase a great book for as low as $5.99, pick up the Yoda Knives today. All right, Zektar, roll the trailer.
With pleasure. Toodaloo.
Well, your brother's in arms now. On your shoulders you pull. All humanity forward till your time is paid in full. Where humanity's finest, young Imperium son. Show them all where the line is now until the day is won. Hold your head up now, soldier, till your role's fulfilled. Keep our enemy back no matter how much blood is spilled. Stand your post and keep your oath to those upon the throne of gold. Well, your brother's in arms now. On your shoulders you pull. All humanity forward till your time is paid in full. Well, the radical monsters, young Imperium son, hold the line with your life, young man, until your time is come.
We're live.
Hello, and welcome to Warhammer 40k's Grim History from Beyond. I am Zekar, and today we're concluding Bilko's Brigade. Now, I know it looks like I'm the only one here, but believe me, there's still a couple people left. There's one. Here goes another one.
Hi.
So just a little bit of a heads up here. We unfortunately, Vathor couldn't make it along with Ezekiel. So we're changing a few things up, but we're still going on with the show. So now last time, as you guys recall, you guys were down in the engine's bowels, and you guys had run into a lictor, who unfortunately, anyways, killed Ezekiel. Just right there. Just boom, he's dead. But thankfully, anyways, the red shirt team was able to kill the lictor. You guys made it all the way back up, and then you ended up on Octarius to try to find the Song of Entropy. And through a bunch of different circumstances, you end up actually helping Orcomedes, who's still there. He, because his orcs were getting like destroyed and utterly wiped out by this tyrant hive mind that was, well, the Tyranids anyways were just like wrecking them. And it turns out it was because they were being controlled by a Zote. Do you know what a Zote is? Zote is, they're kind of an older species. Some think anyways they're a rare form of Tyranid, but they're really not. They were something that was actually taken over by the Tyranids. And
Yeah.
as Sacrona is sitting there, hopefully not dying. We still alive?
We're still alive.
Okay. We only have the finest of equipment here. Tales of Ashwaka.
Now, if people remember, in our last recordings, we said we got the sound thing fixed. Well, apparently we have found new problems.
No, the sound's fine. It's the stand that's trying to kill me. Trying to give me a concussion.
Yes. Well.
Right. Hi.
Yeah. Anyways. So, a zote is, it's like a, do you know what a zote is?
Sounds familiar, but I can't.
Okay, so they were kind of a little bit more old school GW stuff where it was, they were kind of like a ambassador for the Tyranids.
Okay.
So they were controlled by the Tyranids, but they spoke fluently anyways, common and gothic and whatnot. So that way they could actually talk to people. For what purpose, I don't really know, but they were there, so if they needed an emissary, they could have an emissary.
What pops in my head is they go up and say, "Yes, we just want you to know.
We're going to eat you.
We're going to eat you.
So
no, you do not have a choice in it.
Yeah.
I am leaving now."
So the but they're like actually like giant centaurs, but they're like reptilian.
Okay.
They're pretty cool looking, and you guys have to, with the help of Orcamedes, you end up killing this Zote, who happened to have the Song of Entropy. So you take the Song of Entropy. Orcamedes takes over anyways that hive, part of the hive city that the Tyranids had made their breeding ground pretty much. So he was able to push them back, so it was a great victory for the orcs. So his way of saying thank you was that he didn't kill you. You guys get to keep the Song of Entropy, and on top of that, because you were traveling with the court, grad school here, he gave grad school an important artifact that we'll be discussing later. But that kind of brings us up to speed. Now, if you're wondering anyways, I don't remember any of that stuff taking place last time. It didn't.
Oh, did I along the way find out what the heck the wrench does?
Yes, but it's no longer relevant to the story, so... The wrench, literally, anyways, the greatest wrench was that if you put it onto any bolt, it would adjust its size to it.
Huh.
So you could literally use it for anything. That's why it is the best wrench. And that's why it's got pie on the side of it. But the reason why we didn't do any of that was because we had a bunch of combat, and they were supposed to fight this big bad Zote at the end of it. And, well...
Where's the
two
I was about to say, it seems like there's only two people here.
Ezekiel couldn't make it again, so he died because the lictor killed him. And then, unfortunately, Vathor contracted the plague from Nurgle, so he also died. Nurgle finally got it. Yeah. AKA cool. But so he's fine. He's just sick. Anyways. So you guys get everything back onto the ship, and you guys are sailing to the Museum of Solid to meet up with Trizzy. Now, I was mentioning I was going to wait for grad school here anyways to get done with all the stuff that he's doing.
By the way,
so
for people watching, I apologize for the scuffness of it. Also, let me know if the audio's fine.
I appreciate that. The thing that Orcamedes gives you, it's called the Tinkin Hat.
The Tinkin Hat?
Yes, the Tinkin Hat.
The Finkin Hat?
Yes. You can only use it 5 times, so it's only 5 charges to it. You roll a d20. If you get a 14 or higher, you get a +3 on your intelligence checks. If you fail, nothing happens. If you confirm a nat 20, you become
Mini Krork, let's go!
Yes. So, so we're real quick. Anyways, I need you guys to roll a d100 because you are using the warp to jettison yourselves to the Museum of Solomon. And remember, folks, if you ever want them to get warp shenanigans, by all means, anyways, send in a bonus sticker or what is this the other thing? A super chat, right?
Super chat. Yep.
Yeah. But the first one is free.
Hold on a second. I'm adjusting the audio, turning down music, turning up. Is that better?
Now try saying something. Apparently your audio is low for some reason.
My audio is?
Yeah.
Hello!
So, is this 100 or 1?
That is 100.
You rolled a D100 and you rolled 100.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think that's...
No, that's actually one.
one. That's one. I was about to say...
A 1, okay.
What?
What did you roll?
I haven't rolled one yet.
Do you need dice? I have dice.
I've got dice too. I'm fine. Thank you for the bet.
How does
some
that-
dice?
Alright. That was loud and cleared. Alright. I rolled 40.
Okay. So anyways, as you go through the warp, all of a sudden you just got this sudden urge to completely and utterly tell the truth no matter what is going on. You cannot tell a lie. It's not only that you can't tell a lie, it's the fact anyways that you have to tell the truth all the time. So like for instance, if you think of something anyways, it's like this might be important to the party, but might be smart to keep it to myself. That would be technically lying. So you have to tell the group. You got 40?
Yeah.
All right. You got one of the new ones. Okay, you need to roll a D4.
Make me grab all the dice today, I see. You know what? I'm sure that sounds great for the audio. You're welcome. Dice
Holy
ASMR.
crap, that is a monster D20.
3.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in your quarters and you're looking at this new tinking hat, which is it looks very much like it's got like a little M on it and it's red. It's like a little ball cap.
For
Looks
Mork.
for Mario. But yeah. It's Mario's hat pretty much.
We're taken from Mickey Mouse and from Mario.
No, we're not. We're not doing that at all.
Don't come after us, Disney, please. I beg you.
Or Nintendo. Sounds like they're just as violent.
Yeah.
But anyways, as you're looking at it and you go to put it on, you start to realize anyways that it doesn't fit your head. It's too big. So you got to take it off and then you realize anyways that your hands aren't the big meaty hands they were before.
Oh, no.
And then all of a sudden your brain starts to slow. Everything starts to make sense. You have turned into and you have a sudden urge, anyways, to garner yourself a reptilian pet. You have become an Eldari exodite.
No.
So you guys are going through the warp. All of a sudden, anyways, you can feel the ship start to slow down. That's when you guys both immediately get affected by this. So there is still some sort of warp shenanigan, anyways, that is affecting you guys. And then you hear the Vox channel click open, and Malachi calls you guys to the bridge.
Yeah. I guess start heading down that way. Taking about twice as long. Well, not twice as long, but taking some extra big steps.
I can just see in my mind my person walking. I was like, as you're trying to keep up.
Yeah, just.
I mean, you are an Eldari. They're pretty sprightly. I mean, they're supposed to be really fast.
Not only that, but they're also pretty tall. Not Astartes tall, but
Yeah. Or Necron tall.
yeah, but still pretty tall.
7 foot something.
I just watched again, anyways, the Bolt and Hammer, the one with Trazine the Infinite in it,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Mhm.
Yeah, so when he walks up to the Chaos Space Marine, he's like literally looking at him at eye level. I was like, yeah, it kind of reminds, anyways. Necrons are pretty big. kind of gets forgotten, but
They're big.
yeah. Oh, the catechet that I just finished painting,
he's got a what are they called anyways? Gauze flare.
Gauze flare?
Yeah, one of them's got a gauze flare, and it's bigger than the burst cannon. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Makes sense.
Anyways, you've got the chat, right?
I got the
So
chat.
I don't
Yeah.
have to worry about that anymore. Cool. All right. So you guys get up to the front. Bilko or Malachi Bilko is like, all right, we got the shuttle waiting for us. Sorry about your two party friends. We'll make sure, anyways, that they get a toll from the Soul Bell, or whatever the hell we call it, back on Terra. The next time we're back there, which will be in another 50 years or so.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
It is the warp.
So you guys get in the shuttle and you go down anyways to the Museum of Salamis. Now, for those of you who actually, why don't you guys roll for perception? Determine the description of what this place looks like.
Natural 20.
Natural 20? Okay.
16.
You don't have any adding or subtracting
For
of that?
perception?
Yeah.
No.
You're like,
That was a 0.
I do have this.
Well, I do too, but it really doesn't matter.
Well, if you roll a nat 20, it
I was
doesn't,
gonna say.
even if you've got negative modifiers for it, it doesn't matter if you roll a nat 20.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's 0.
the Museum of Salamis is actually within the planet itself. It's almost like Treasure Planet. You know how
Yeah.
it's actually inside of it, yeah. But the outside of it has been long ago, anyways, turned to it's uninhabitable. You have ash storms, anyways. It's very much like Mars, except for instead of like red sand, it's not red. It's actually like a grayish color.
Yeah.
So when it storms and the wind sweeps across it, it literally looks like giant smog or soot that travels from place to place. And thankfully, anyways, you have the coordinates to get you to the
Actual.
docking base. Yes. And you guys, the doors kind of open up in the middle of this place, and there's kind of this green hue that comes out from the doors, and Bilko lands you guys go into it, and then you just notice immediately, anyways, it just looks like, there's just like gears whining everywhere, and pistons kind of billowing out like smoke or steam, and there just seems everywhere, anyways, you can see like this green energy from all the sorts, and you guys have no idea how any of it works. You don't even know how it works because you can't remember anything, kind of thing. But it's just
this does something.
Yes.
I just,
But you guys obviously can tell, anyways, that this is far beyond any means of any, the Imperium of Man, or even dare say, anyways, the Eldari. The technology here, anyways, is just so beyond, anyways, that it's just like magic. But you guys land, and as the door opens, a hulking creature, anyways, is before you. And you immediately recognize him from the holograph from 2 months ago. Or, dare I say, anyways, a couple days ago. And
It's all different in the warp.
and there stands before you Trazim the Infinite.
I'm still the Eldari, right?
Yes, you're still
so you're still, yeah.
But technically, the taking cap will still work.
Ah, yes. Greetings, my dear sir. You must be our Equari. Not Equari. What's the...
I don't know.
No, Equari is essentially a
I'm pretty
servant.
sure
That's
he's
not what it
meaning
is.
To say is the person that we're supposed to give this item to.
And probably one word instead of 12. But,
This
Well,
whole
it is
thing,
a
the whole thing,
proprietor.
this is a new concept to me, all right?
Taskmaster, maybe would work.
Client.
You are our client.
There you go.
we go. That's
Client.
the-
Client
that's
work. Yeah. Well, we try that again.
Greetings, dear sir. You must be the client that hired us to grab the MacGuffin.
Song of Entropy.
The Song of Entropy.
Oh, yes, I did. Do you have it? Do you have
We left it on the ship. Neither of us wants to touch it.
it? Well, then our business is concluded then. And he snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden you see two custodes, anyways, with glowing green eyes, anyways, march up behind him, anyways. He goes, I bid you good day. And he goes to go turn and leave.
Okay. My, excuse me. Question.
He kind of stops, kind of glances back at you. Yes.
I've never seen quite such fascinating machinery in my life. I was just wondering if it'd be possible to look around for a little bit.
Do you have the Song of Entropy?
Yes, I said it was in this ship, not up there.
Oh, I see. Well, why don't you go get it, you fool?
I walk.
I was about to say.
I think you guys literally like,
Shaking
we left
my
it in the ship
head.
up there. It's like, why would you do that? Sorry. Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
I walk back in to get it. Because, yeah.
So, I recall right. The Song of Entropy is about this long, and it is a scepter, pretty much, that Vulcan made. The thing about it, though, is that there is a hidden switch on the side of it, anyways, and when you push the button, it shoots a gout of flame. It's a flamethrower, but it's a scepter. Don't ask me how it works, because Vulcan made it. There you go. The smithy of smithies, other than Ferris Mouse. Okay, but anyway, so you grab it.
Yeah, and I bring it out and hand it to him.
Roll for perception.
14.
7.
Okay. So you kind of notice anyways, obviously anyways, Trazine is much like you, where there's not a whole lot of emotion there because he's a robot, but you can almost see kind of like a greedy twinkle anyways in his green eyes. He goes, yes, good. And he grabs it and he goes, very well, follow me. And as he goes walking off, the custodes just almost mindlessly anyways turn and they just follow him.
All right, I guess I will go after him then.
So you get halfway down the hallway and all of a sudden you start hobbling. And the reason why is because one of your legs has turned back into an orc leg. But that's it.
Well, this seems to be unfortunate.
It turns
I seem to have contracted Organticus in my right leg.
Probably not the right word, but okay. Trazine, anyways, he kind of glances back and goes, oh, yes, I have a thing for that. Back in my office. And you guys kind of go through it, and as you guys are walking through, you notice, anyways, every place that you go, there's just this hallway, and there are, like, on one side, you'll see, like, a bunch of catechins, and they're all, like, in mid-pose, like, fighting a bunch of tyrants, or tyranids, and you can actually see, anyways, as every time you walk by, a little hologram pops up, and it actually reads out in, like, 3 different languages, and one of them you recognize as Gothic is just like the Battle of Theramore, kind of thing. And then you go to the next one, anyways, and it's showing something else. And then you go, but you notice the hall that you're going down, every single one of them has catechins in it.
Yeah.
So you can kind of tell that this is the hall of catechi, or whatever their plant was called.
Oh, catechin.
Yeah. So, you even at the very end, anyways, you see a bunch of catechins going, and running away, and there's a little tiny frog in the middle of it, and it's getting bigger. So,
And then there's one that's like,
So, you get down the hall, you make a couple more turns, but every place that you go, anyways, every hall, every corner, anyways, there is something. Just frozen, almost, it looks like in this gelatinous cube. You know Trazine, anyways, at this point, you know enough about him that he is a collector. He collects everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go around a corner, it'll just be like a little small, like, it'll be like,
this is a plate.
Yeah, yeah.
From
or like a plate is like from the Ming Dynasty. It's a Ming vase. Yeah. Which would be really rare in the 36th millennium to actually survive that long. Like, you go around another corner and there's like a pitchfork. Anyway, You know, it's kind of bizarre, and it turns out it's the pitchfork of Henry Fleming or something like that. You know, from the planet of Mordu or something along those lines. And the significance of it is that it was the last steel-made pitchfork on that planet before it exploded. You know, just everything from like the ridiculous like that to you go around another corner and there's like an orb and it's just like it just says origins unknown, classification threat level 50, and you're just kind of sitting there going
50 out of what? Out of 50? Out of 100?
You don't know.
And what's the rating?
I mean, who knows? Yeah. It could be just the baseball. You know? And it's like, well, if somebody throws it hard enough, say 50 miles an hour, then yes, it would hurt. But
If they're throwing it at 50,000 miles an hour.
yeah, it could kill you. But yeah, but because you don't know, but it obviously, anyways, it's fairly ominous, anyways, that if it just says, you know, unknown threat level 50, it's like, maybe don't touch it, you know, kind of thing.
Especially since the person who puts unknown is Trazine.
Right. So you finally get to his office. Now his office is actually this huge library, and there's a couple of big tables that he's got all these scrolls and different tomes on, and even books, dare I say. And the walls are just covered with, you know, bookshelves and all sorts of different things and maps. And I mean, it's obviously his study. And he gets to the center of it, and he places the Song of Entropy down, and he immediately, anyways, you can't see what he's doing, but immediately see all these like thousands of little tiny scarabs kind of crawl up the table, and they all start like flowing around the
Song of Entropy.
yeah, the staff. And is sitting there for half a second, then they all kind of dissipate, and he turns back and looks at you and goes, "Oh, very good, very good. This is actually the Song of Entropy. Your payment will be waiting for you when you leave."
Okay. We are leaving, yes?
I mean, we've already had a nice tour of the place while getting here, so.
As you do that, anyways, gesture like that, you're hearing.
Ah!
And your
Oh,
throats
no.
are starting to cloud a bit. Things are starting to make less and less sense.
Or more and more sense, depending on what way you look at it. But yeah. So, yeah, this is just going to slowly take place.
Well, ice seems to be changing, so. Do we have any other business here?
Not that I'm aware of.
I says we go then.
Okay.
So as you guys turn to leave, all right, you guys. So he's obviously told you, anyways, your payment is done. Congratulations. Yeah. And as you guys turn to leave, your scarab, I can't remember his name, Anubis or something like that.
No.
We'll just call him Anubis.
Echo.
Okay.
Great. That one. He kind of scurries around anyways behind. He's been just kind of crouching anyways on your back.
Yeah.
And as you turn around anyways, he kind of skitters down and he climbs up on the table, and he actually like starts to scan the Song of Entropy, and then he goes over to Trazine, and you can see that he's like scanning Trazine. And Trazine kind of looks at it, and then he glances up at you and he goes, "How much do you want for this interesting scarab? It's obviously not yours. These scarabs died out a millennia ago."
It is mine. You do not.
What? You can't be serious. Surely you can't be serious. Do it.
Very serious.
Do
It
it.
is not.
You know what I meant, right?
No.
Surely you can't be serious.
Oh.
Oh,
Don't
Don't
call
go
me sure.
really, yeah.
You missed it. Anyways, fascinating. Yes. So he strokes his imaginary beard. Yes, because he's made of metal.
his very long chin. Ski, yes.
So you must be from the Tekulkis clan. Or sect. Sept. Haha, sept.
Dynasty.
Dynasty, sept. Same difference, actually.
Probably. It's all a bit fuzzy. All I remember is that there's 2 meteors that annihilate my planet.
He walks up to you, and then he kind of gets around behind you, and he starts, like, tinkering with the back of your head before he can do anything. The back of your head actually literally like, pops open. So you can see that, and you can see anyways, there's, like, this green, like, flash, and you can just see it's kind of, like, spitting, almost like... Oh, I see, yes. You've garnered some damage here. Well, technically, I have something of yours. But if you can't remember what it is, then why should I give it back to you? Yes.
First of all, is my head still open?
Yes?
I seriously, at this point, do not care so long as I am able to get out of here. Just for what I remember of this guy, the little bit that I remember is being with him as little as possible is more beneficial.
Oh, nonsense, my boy. I was good friends with your sept back in the day. We were one of the few people that didn't want the necrodermis skeletons. Transference. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes, transference.
That doesn't change anything if I don't know what the heck it is. Why should I be wanting it?
Figured you might. And you, weird-looking fellow.
Excuse
Another hand. oh, snap out of it. And he does one of these, and a bunch of scarabs come to you anyways. And it's like, you disappear for a while. It's just like this giant mound of like little tiny spider scarabs anyways. I want you to roll anyways for... Crap, what would that be? Terror. Or fear. What would that be?
Intimidation? The opposite of intimidation?
I could make a... That's a good question. I have no idea what this would be.
Just roll that. Just roll 20 then. We'll just... 5. So... These things are climbing up to you. You can feel every single tiny little prick anyways as they're all coming up to you. And as it gets closer and closer to your face, you realize anyways that it's getting harder and harder to move, and it's getting kind of panicking. Yes.
No! Get off! I would swat them away, but I can't move at this point.
You can still move, but...
No! Get off! No!
Roll dexterity.
Natural 20.
You're able to brush as many of them off as possible, but they just seem to just keep coming back.
I like run around, trip on the ground, and thrashing around as they swarm over the top of me. No!
Well, that's taking place. You notice anyways, Trazine's just standing there. And, well, like I said, there's not much of an expression, but he's just got this goofy kind of grin on his face. It's kind of... His bottom lip anyways is kind of curled into somewhat of a smile. This is not the first time that this has happened, apparently. But what happens is that after you stop thrashing, you can kind of all of a sudden, it's almost like they're sucking the very blood out of you. And then they like jettison it all back in, and then they all disappear. And when they disappear anyways, you are back to your old grumpy orcish self.
Now
Slowly stand back up. He's like,
it's me, Mario. No.
the Zorg happened.
Kind of raises an eyebrow anyways, or the metallic thing anyways. And he's just like, Feel better?
Very.
Good, good. Well, what do you think of this? Did he actually figure out anyways what's going on in his brain?
Will it help you fight better?
Good.
That'd be a fair assumption.
Maybe.
My eyes still flicker a little red because, you know, that's something. happening.
Tell you what, I'll sweeten.
As your eyes flicker, I just bonk you in the back of the head.
It's a little hard to do that since the back of my head is actually open.
Right. I smack you across the side of the head.
You could smack the back of his head. That'd be interesting, actually. It's like all of a sudden.
Oh, hold on. Whack!
Hit the back.
I just like. Zzz.
Back of the head, all of a sudden, show tunes just start coming out. It's like, uh-oh. You know? What's new, pussycat? Whoa!
That's new. Smack!
And down the stretch they come.
Yeah. It's not working.
Now on, you're on your own. Well, we're seeing a bit of clouds here.
Yeah. Tell you what, I haven't had any entertainment for quite some time. So I'll tell you what you'll do. Set you across any ways to go find what he needs to find. And if you get there first, I will give you your own personal hold of orcs. I collected them out of the warp, you know.
I lean across and was like, I have any idea what he's talking about?
I believe the leader, I think his name is one by the name of Tuska.
Tuska?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
Roll
like...
for history. Let's see if you know what you're work.
I don't know why he would know.
Everybody knows who Tuska is. Are you gonna put your tinkin hat on?
You know what? Yeah, sure.
So you put it on. You really like.
So it gives me a what for?
So you gotta roll. You gotta roll d20, and if you get 14 or over, it works.
Okay,
If you get under 14, then it doesn't work.
I got a 17.
You got a 17. Okay, so you get a +3 anyways to your intelligence
Okay.
when you roll intelligence. Oh, but you only get 5 charges, so now you've got 4.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter because I got a natural 20 again. So there's no
I
reason.
rolled that beforehand.
Keep
and
that dice.
confirmed it.
This dice has been. It's either gone like below 10 or 20. There's been no in between.
No in between. So, you do know who Tuska is. You've heard the rumors, the tales of Tuska. Tuska the orc, the demon killer. Tuska, for those of you who do not know, Tuska was an orc in the
I don't know.
4th millennium? Something like that. Who started his own great big woo and ended up traveling into the warp to fight demons. He ended up landing on Korn's planet.
Yeah.
And Korn took such an exception to him because he was so great at killing demons that he sent his bloodthirster captains after him, and the bloodthirster ended up winning, but Tuska in his last, right before he died, literally took his axe and slammed it into the bloodthirster's testicles.
I thought it was a power claw.
It might have been.
He gave him like
Whatever.
a finger, basically. That's what it did.
Anyways, Korn took such appreciation from that anyways that he just keeps resurrecting him every day so that he can kill more demons and then respawn and so on and so forth. So what Trazine is telling you is that at some point or another he traveled into the warp and snagged Tuska and a bunch of his orc wog from Korn and brought it back to the Museum of Solomons. Then I want both of you guys to roll another history check real quick.
3.
You got 3. Okay.
Like I said, it's either 5 or it's 20. There's you need between.
15.
15? Okay. So you, anyways, that sounds pretty good. You could get Tuska, the demon killer, and his woo that would fight for you. That sounds pretty good. you remember anyways that Trazine often lies. It's not that he lies, it's just more along the lines of in his museum, sometimes there's like he won't actually grab the actual thing that was there. Like for instance, I was just saying anyways, like the Battle of Theramore and the Catashans are fighting the Tyranids. Well, if you look close enough anyway, some of those Catashans probably weren't even Catashans. They were, like Cadians that he had just dressed up as Catagans. So he's been known to do that occasionally. So
plus the fact that Tuska would actually follow somebody.
That's a good point.
I was about to say.
Well, you do know that also Trazine though does have anyways these I can't remember what they call them. They're a particular type of scarab.
Yeah.
So literally, anyways, things are forced to do his bidding. So you very well could anyways give you Tuska and then just have you be able to control the scarabs.
That doesn't sound proper orky enough.
Maybe,
yes. But you have to get. But here's the deal: for you to actually get that, anyways, you have to get to his item first, which is the emblem of your house or set. I gotta call this up because if I keep calling it a house, that makes it sound weird. But
yes, we are knights. In fact.
What happens if I don't?
Well, you are free to leave whenever you want. My custode guard will escort you right out.
By the way, he's been known to lie or make little tweaks to certain things.
No,
that
my
go back at you.
No, I mean, what if you win?
Me?
I think he's talking
You're
about
playing
me.
against him.
Oh.
If he wins, then I give him his emblem back. Oh, but for free of charge, and before you can do anything, he takes this like little, it looks like a microchip anyways, and he slunks it into the back of your head, and then shuts the back of your head. And immediately, anyways, you all of a sudden, everything that you'd seen before was kind of like in this dull green. Like if you had like...
fog, glimpses.
No,
night vision goggles.
Like night vision goggles. And then all of a sudden, anyways, you plug that in, and all of a sudden, like, and you can see everything really clearly now.
Okay.
What I've just given you is called something.
Night vision.
A Lazarek chip, which will help you with your memories.
Okay.
Okay, so Lazarek chip is every time you wish to use an intelligence or wisdom check, roll a d20. If you roll a 20, you gain understanding of who you are and your people are. So you gain a little bit more knowledge, anyways, of who you are and where you come from. If you roll 1, though, you roll a d20 and add your intelligence modifier, and you take that much damage. There's always a pro with a con, especially with Trazine. So real quick, actually, roll for intelligence. We're going to roll once to see.
11.
Look, you don't worry. But you definitely can tell anyways that your mind is kind of picked it. Well, you've kind of felt more like drunk and depressed all the time. Now it seems like your brain's actually starting to click a little bit more.
So depressed, but not drunk now.
Yes, exactly.
I can see clearly, and I'm still just as sad.
Yes. Now I understand why I'm sad.
Okay.
I'd like my own blog.
To the fridge.
You grab something while you're in there?
So, here's the thing. He hasn't specified even if it's the entire place we're searching or...
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna send us out there. It's like, race to find the object. Do we have, like, a map? No.
No, I didn't even think
Search
that.
everywhere. Oh man, that would be a nightmare. We would never leave.
Yeah.
Like you?
This video, by the way, is sponsored by beer. Uh-oh.
So, here is a question I have is, how will we be able to get back if we get lost? Since, you know, this is a pretty big place.
Don't get lost. I will hand you this map, though. He hands both of you anyways a map.
Oh, great. If I open it up, is it written in Gothic, or is it just like an actual map with no...
You open it up and it literally has like a line that it's like a treasure map.
No.
Pretty much. It just shows you where to go. It's not like, you know, like... It's not like, you know, like a map at a mall where it's like you work here and then it just shows everything. It literally shows you where to go.
Well, I guess that answers one question.
Holy, I could drink beer.
Doesn't he have like a cellar full of wine? And it's like, why don't you get rid of it? It's not for drinking.
Yeah, it's collecting. He's a collector. He does it all.
Just makes you wonder why he isn't called the collector. He's called
The infinite. Because he has infinite collection that's ever grown.
Also has the fact that he's been around forever. Helps.
Okay, I guess I hopefully find it before he does. Because I just was popping into my mind is how many bad things can happen if you end up with this group of orcs.
Ironically, they're all red now. They've been living with corn too long.
That doesn't sound...
You can't paint the world green anymore.
They do go faster, though.
But it's not green. Green is best.
I don't know what to tell you, sir. Well, will you go on this quest?
I'm waiting for what he's gonna say before I do anything.
See, I was tempted to just start bolting it, but then when I heard that they're red now instead of green, it's like,
That means they may be evil sons. No!
no! No! I'm just like,
Are you actually just gonna grab the map and just start booking it?
yeah, you know, I'm just gonna like, let me think, perhaps run it.
Roll for athletics.
Natural 20, gold dang.
You're out the door and around the corner before you can even do anything. Just hearing this mad cackling as he goes. Oh, he got out of there before I told him about the 3 challenges. Anyways, there's 3 challenges. The first one, ironically, you have to work together.
Great.
You better catch up.
What are the other 2 challenges?
You'll find that out along the way. Off you. And you see, anyways, he walks over and you can just see there's all these cameras that he's watching, so he's just gonna watch you guys do your thing.
Okay. Well,
You can also see, anyways, he's hit the record button and he has got a microwave that he is popping some popcorn in. And he looks over at it very sadly because he knows, anyways, while he's popping the popcorn, he cannot consume the popcorn. At least the sounds.
Before I go, I take Akka with me.
Okay. Yeah.
I just like to imagine him throwing popcorn onto his face while instead of eating, just
sighing every time.
just triples down onto his body in the process.
All right, so you are hoofing it as fast as you possibly can, right?
Yep.
All right, so if you look at the map, it goes up, takes a left, it goes up again. That was actually right. And then you get to the thing, anyways, and there is there's a symbol that's just got a handout like this.
I punch it. I punch.
It's on the map.
Oh.
Dude. He's just like, ha! You high five.
I pause.
High five the map, and you like look at it like it's gonna do something. No, it doesn't do anything.
And then I just continue running.
Okay. Do you want?
Oh, clue.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even have you roll for this. I probably should have, but you go ahead and roll for perception. I'm assuming you want to look at the map, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your whole thought process is just speed. So
13.
and you do that too, anyways. Like there's a left, and then there's go straight up. Well, no, that was actually a right. So you're like, So what'd you roll?
13.
Okay. So you look at it, and you can understand, anyways, that there's you go straight up. There's a right, and then you have to go up, and then there's this hand, and the hand does look vaguely familiar, like you've seen it somewhere before. But it's not. From what you remember about it, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. It was just kind of something, anyways, that you remembered having to deal with. Actually, anyways, when you were with the orc raiding party that Gratz was part of.
Okay.
You remember that the orcs weren't too particularly fond of that symbol, but that's about it. Because you did not roll well. But you can see, anyways, the directions. You also notice, anyways, that even though there's a line that shows which way it's going, it looks like there's a corridor that goes diagonally straight up to it.
I'm going to take that.
Okay. I need you to roll acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Oh.
17 plus acrobatics is dexterity, so 20.
20? Okay. Dirty 20. So you see, anyways, there's a door to go through the diagonal part. There's a door, and it says something, anyways, in Necronese or whatever languages. Necronese, I kind of like that actually. Or necrosis. There you go. And but you can't read it because you've long ago lost the ability to read Necronese. And so you go over and you like push on the door. The door opens fairly easily. But as you go through the door shuts behind you. And all of a sudden the lights all flash on and you notice that you are in a room with a bunch of frogs. And these frogs all take one look at you anyways, they go, and they start to expand. You happen to know what kind of frog this is. So you run really, really fast to the other side because the door behind you shut. So just as you're getting towards the end anyways, you hear the first one go, and then poof. Although it's not the type of frog that you think it is, but it's a close cousin to it. These particular frogs anyways, instead of actually just exploding in like a giant nuclear fireball, it's more of like it explodes and you can see anyways it's almost like this purple dust like bellows out of it. And the frog doesn't die either. It just deflates really fast. So it's like
like a whoopee cushion.
Like a whoopee cushion, exactly. So as you're getting towards the end, you just start hearing all these whoopee cushions going off behind you. Just and the dust is getting closer and closer to you, and you're able to actually outrun it though, and get to the very end, and the door is open for you, and you get to the other side anyways, and you slam the door shut. And you turn around and run right into what? Gratz, because Gratz is looking behind him to see if you're going to catch up, just as you run right into him and you both fall.
What the? How did you?
I used my brain.
This is like, I look at the map. It's like, is that what this is called?
But you guys are at the where the high five is. And you turn around and look, and there is this giant room, and you can tell instantly, anyways, that there are these chess pieces that are about your size, a little bit smaller. So it's a massive room with a bunch of chess pieces on it. And there is off to the side, anyways, there's this place where someone can stand, and you can see somebody actually standing up there. Rather large individual. He lays down, anyways, into this Vox microphone thing. And he says, so who's playing and who's going to be a piece?
So I suggest the person, you're brawny and tough.
Yes.
Wouldn't you rather want to be on the front lines?
I look at the statues. Pull up my axe, just start swinging it as I go onto the board.
Which piece are you taking out? So you gotta be a piece.
I'll take out the queen.
Okay.
Why? Why?
Okay, so as that happens, anyways, you walk up the steps so that you're standing next to this person. This person dwarfs you.
Yeah.
And you can tell, anyways, they're a human, kind of.
Okay.
He's quite large, and his arms, while being rather beefy, anyways, his arms are completely and utterly like made out of the same stuff that you are, necrodermis.
Okay.
And he kind of looks very sternly at you, and he kind of grumbles about another Necron. And he goes, all right, well, I've been bored. Thankfully, anyways, Drazine let me out this time, anyways. It's been 1,000 years since I've gotten out. Would love to play a game of chess, though.
Okay.
So, have you figured out who this is, by the way?
No.
Have you figured out who
I
it is?
think I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I don't know.
all right. Then he holds out, anyways. He takes up two small pieces, anyways. One's black, one's white. He does this, anyways. Puts them in his fist. He puts them behind his hands, anyways. He shuffles them. He puts his hands out. And he goes,
Right.
pick one. It's my left. Your other right. So holds it out, anyways. Roll a d4 for me.
So thank you for everyone who's watching. Make sure you hit that like button, please.
Yeah. This would be a perfect time, by the way, for warp shenanigans. Just saying.
One.
So it's a black piece. So you guys are black. Unfortunately, the queen that you knocked out was the white queen. So you gotta tell him, anyways, he's on the wrong side of the board.
You're on the wrong side.
What? Oh. I walk over to the other side, begrudgingly just push the black queen off.
Okay. The human just kind of shakes his head. I never was a fan of orcs. I just don't have any brains. It's a button and a new queen pops up for him. And he starts with his first piece, anyways. He moves a pawn. Now, here's the thing, anyways. He's going to start asking me some questions and whatnot. It's more of the dialogue than it is actually, we're not going to play game chess.
Thank you. I was like, oh no.
So for you, anyways, it's trying to kind of like figure out who he is, outsmart him. It's going to be kind of hard at this point because you don't know who it is. Ironically, he does. The orc does. You, on the other hand, anyways, this is why I was like, okay, you can take out the queen. You're the only piece, anyways, that can move that doesn't have to abide by the rules of the game. So you can't hop over pieces like a horse can, but you can kind of move around on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So, but each time you do that, anyways, it will require, anyways, like move outside of the path of what your piece would normally do. You have to You're gonna have to roll. So Manus anyway starts with shoot.
I was like, oh, there we go.
Foiled again. You have any idea who he is?
Oh,
Damn it. So
It helps I've been reading Fulcrum recently, so I just got
when I said
a very good description of him. It's like, well, he's bigger than a Necron, silver hands.
So, anyways, he moves his first piece, and the stranger before you goes, "Do you know who I am?" Roll for perception.
13.
Okay. If you
Do you have zero?
Do
You have zero on perception?
Yep.
Oh,
the only way that would have worked is if you rolled a 1. And like, you just forgot everything I just said. You were an idiot. So you know it's at least anyways it's the clone of Ferrus Manus.
Yeah.
It has been rumored anyways that Trazine the Infinite has one of the clones of Ferrus Manus that Fabius Bile actually created. He creates one every day, I think, at some point anyways. And it's for Fulgrim because Fulgrim keeps trying to convince him that
Join me.
to join him,
to
and every
Dark
time Ferrus Manus
No.
says no,
No.
you idiot. So then he cuts his head off and they start over again. But it is said anyways that Trazine happened to get his hands on one of them. So he has the clone of Ferrus Manus in the Museum of Psalms. You just happen to be playing a game of chess with him.
Okay.
So he asked you, like I said, do you know who I am?
Believe you're Ferrus Manus, or a clone thereof.
Yes, I am the clone of Ferrus Manus. Ferrus Manus himself was killed by his brother Fulgrim. Bastard. You answered his question, so go ahead and move a piece.
Okay, I'll move pawn forward.
Okay. So as the game continues on, he continues conversing with you about
The good old days. Or not so good old days.
good old days of when the Great Crusade. And you know, okay, roll real quick for a history check.
Wow, I know nothing.
What would you roll?
It comes to a whopping 9.
9? You have heard of the Great Crusade. And the Horus Heresy. It had something to do with a guy by the name of Horus. But
and it was a heresy of some
and there
kind.
you go. There's a heresy of some kind. You remember something about the Emperor doing something, but and then you remembered anyways that Ferrus Manus was killed by Fulgrim. Because he just told you Ferrus Manus was killed by Fulgrim. Where? I have no idea.
I know the connection that I'd be able to make about there being a Great Crusade is Malachi. Because he would know that Malachi has a letter of marque.
Okay.
Because he's a rogue trader.
Like I said, anyways, that's about as much as you know, anyways, of the Great Crusade. You've heard of the Great Crusade. You heard it was great.
It was a crusade.
And it was a crusade. And then it was followed by the Horus Heresy. It had something to do with Horus, and it was a heresy. Why it was a heresy, you don't know. And you know that Fulgrim killed Ferrus Manus because he just told you Fulgrim killed Ferrus Manus. That's about it.
Well,
Unfortunately-
what do you expect? They've been floating around for thousands of years in space.
Anyways, he's talking about this, you're trying to think anyways of some witty anecdote or something anyways about the Great Crusade, and you can't remember anything. But you're thinking about it so hard, you notice anyways that you're losing. Not badly, but as you're losing, you anyways are seeing that you're losing, and you don't like losing. So you want to try to do something about that, or?
So, question.
Mhm.
I can't move past the pieces myself, correct?
What do you mean?
So I can't walk like.
You can't move other pieces now.
No.
That'd be kind of funny.
No,
you idiot! He goes over to a pawn. Pawn takes queen! Get your head of the game. No, what do you mean? Okay.
Can I? Okay, what's surrounding the Keen right now?
At this point, anyways, you've all your Necron friend has done, anyways, is started a pawn invasion.
Still advanced pawns.
So you've got kind of the W thing going, anyways, the pawns, but he hasn't really moved any of the back pieces yet. Manus, on the other hand, has done some of that, anyways, on one side, but he's got both of his horses out, and his queen is starting to move into position, anyways, to take out your king. But he's not there yet.
I'm going to take my axe. I'm going to lob it at the queen.
Okay. That would be an athletics check, most definitely.
That is going to be... Oh, that's really good. 22.
22. So you hurl your axe at the queen, and it's...
Wait, what does it change into?
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's the Grot Hammer.
If it's the Grot Hammer, you might have a problem.
4. So reroll, right. 3.
What is the 3?
3 is the... If I recall correctly. It's not the Greyhammer. It's the... No, that's 1.
Oh.
It's the Voton Blade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well...
So
as it goes flying that way, anyways, it hits the queen, and the queen just explodes. When that happens, you start obviously laughing because it's great fun. Ferrus Manus is not very pleased with it, and he pushes a button, and all of the pieces of the queen come flying back at you, anyways, at like 100 miles an hour. I need you to roll for dexterity.
That's not bad. That is going to be, I think, 17? Yeah, 17.
Okay. Roll D4 for me.
1.
So you see it all coming, you're like, "Ah!" You start ducking, dodging, and weaving anyways. You, ironically, are still staying on your spot because you can't move, right? You're like, ah, hee, ooh, ah, hee, ah. And then you think all of them get past you, like, ha, ha, and then, whack! The last piece, right between the eyes. You take 1 damage.
Okay.
It does hit you hard enough, it knocks your tinking cap off, though.
Well, I wasn't using it right now anyway, so it's fine. I'll just pick it up after the game.
Pick it up, dust it off. Bitch. But he's still down his queen. So, but he scowls about that anyways, and he goes, "You people play unfairly, much like Fulgrim at S1 5."
actually, no, I can't say that because I don't know.
You don't know. I was supposed to like, wait a
Well,
minute.
if you roll for intelligence.
Okay.
Nope. What'd you get?
I rolled a 6, which means it'll be a 9.
You've heard of S1 5. It's a planet in the S1 system. That's about it. He's gonna get you killed, by the way. So, you're like, as you're pondering, Esteban, does he mean Ivan 5? Ivan 5, I've been to Ivan 5 before.
I've flown past Ivan 5 at one point.
But once again, anyways, you stop paying attention to the game. And now, anyways, though, Ferrus Manus is gunning for you because you took out his queen. He does end up getting to a position where he actually traps the queen, anyways. And he goes to move his horse to take your piece.
As it comes over.
You need to roll for this. Okay, what do you play?
I was about to pull out the custom shooter.
Okay. Because you just don't have your axe anymore, do you? You threw
No.
it away.
Hey, doesn't it come back to you though?
I think you have to roll for it.
Yeah, I do.
But you didn't, so...
Yeah, whatever. So I'll pull out my custom shooter.
Okay, so I need you to roll... Okay, so first thing, though, before you roll your attack, I do need you to roll dexterity.
Okay.
Because you're going to have to dodge the thing.
Care to guess what it is?
A nat 20?
Yeah. I don't know what
you
is
watch
happening.
it as it slowly comes down anyways, and you just take the one step to the side. And then you just take your gun like this and pull the trigger. You just destroy it. You don't even need to make a roll. I mean, if you got a nat 20, yeah, it's just like...
I'm standing right next to it. I don't need to aim at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, aiming is not necessary.
So he's even more irritated now. He pushes the button. All of a sudden, all those rocks are like start spinning, and you're still in the same spot. So roll for dexterity.
Oh, it's still pretty close. 16.
16. Okay.
D4.
Roll a D4. Yeah.
2.
So you're sitting there, and you start laughing at him until he pushes that button, and you hear the. Which you heard last time. You're like, oh, kind of thing. You take 2 damage. You're able to dodge most of it. So how are we feeling over there?
Pretty good still, just pissed. It's White's turn now, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna take the custom shoe. I'm gonna aim at the biggest pile of white pawns. I'm gonna use the flamer.
Okay.
Do they even get to make a saving throw? They're pawns. They can't move.
Yeah, but I mean, go ahead.
They're probably made out of stone. Flame doesn't really destroy stone.
He's gonna figure that out here in about 5 seconds. Go ahead, roll.
Well, I don't roll. That's the thing. It's a spell.
Oh,
It's
So it would do nothing, essentially, because they can't roll for a save, but it's also stone.
so anyways, you shoot this huge gout of flame at the pawns, and at first you're sitting there, you're laughing hysterically because you can't see them anymore because of the giant piece of flame, and then you kind of frown afterwards because you let go and they're just sitting there, exactly the same. And then you hear Ferris Manus. What an idiot! Oh, thank you, Orc. I haven't laughed like that in years. Not since me and Fulgrim once, anyways, went out and... Fulgrim.
You mean the guy they already said didn't play fairly and also keeps killing
Roll for
me?
perception. or history, actually. Roll for history. It's going to be a very short game if he keeps rolling badly, by the way.
No, we rolled good
You're
this time.
doing great.
23.
23. Okay, so you do all of a sudden anyways, it hits you anyways. You remember Fulgrim, there was a tale of Fulgrim, and back in the Great Crusade, Fulgrim and Ferris Manus. And Ferris Manus claimed to be the best smithy of the Imperium. And Fulgrim, on the other hand, said, no, I am. Are we out of music?
Yep. Fixing that right now.
And so they decided to have a friendly competition on who would actually produce the best weapon. And so they both went to their forges and they came out and Ferris Manus, okay, if I recall right, which way did it go? Ferris Manus crafted a beautiful sword.
And
Yeah.
Fulgrim made the Forge Breaker.
Forge Breaker, okay. I couldn't remember which one did which for a second.
3 months long.
Yeah. And they were so impressed with each other's work that they swapped weapons. So, Ferris Manus ended up with Forge Breaker. And then, what was it called? The Dragon Sword?
Fireblade.
Fireblade, yeah. That's all they called it?
Yeah, I know, it's such a stupid...
Ferris Manus, one of the greatest smithies of all time. What did you call that? A sword.
Okay.
Okay.
What does it do? It's on fire! Fireblade!
Get it? Oh, we get it.
About the
Yes,
same.
the Forge Breaker.
I guess he had
And the
the
pipe.
same imagination as the salamanders.
Yeah.
It's a red rock.
What?
It's red. It's a rock. It's a red rock.
So, anyways, they end up swapping weapons, and so at Estelon 5, you remember also, anyways. Now you remember why you remember Estelon 5, it's because that's where Fulgrim killed Ferris Manus, and he did it with. He actually killed him with a demon blade, but he fought him originally with the fire sword. Yeah. And they came to blows, and Ferris Manus actually was winning and knocked the blade from, what's his face's hand, Fulgrim's hands.
Actually, he was losing and broke it because he decided to strike him, and he just caught it and was like, "I made this sword, and I can also break it." And then,
okay. Well, so he was winning at that point because he broke the sword.
No, because then he was knocked practically unconscious at that point. I just have read that part, so it's fresh in the brain.
It's been a fair spell since I've read about that. And then, but he does use the demon sword to behead him.
I haven't gone that far, so
spoiler alert! He uses the demon sword to kill.
Well, it's the other weapon that he has, and he does it at beheading him. It logically makes sense, right?
But here's the interesting thing, anyways, about that though, is that and one thing that Ferris Manus doesn't know is that right after that happened, Fulgrim felt so bad about killing his brother that he wished to kind of disappear and leave. And it was at that moment, anyways, the demon blade was actually fused with a demon, took over Ferris Manus. That's why when we were talking about, spoiler alert for those who didn't actually watch our Vox on Lorgar, but there is a part, anyways, where Lorgar figures out that Fulgrim isn't really Fulgrim. The demon, anyway, the demon from the demon that takes over Fulgrim was actually the demon from that sword. Sorry, you're going to read about that here.
Eventually, yeah, I'll get there.
I won't tell you the rest of it, but anyways.
It's when Lorgar actually grows a backbone and starts fighting. Yeah, anyways.
But we're not talking about Lorgar. That's what you do, actually. Like, interesting fact is like, wait, why do I care about Lorgar? Nobody should care about Lorgar. Actually, everybody should, because he's kind of the reason everything went up shit creek. But but you do remember this information, and that it would be a piece of information that he would know. How can you use that to your advantage?
Throw him for a loop.
Well, I'd have to actually mention it because I have to tell the truth right now.
Okay, so go for it.
You do realize after he killed you, he suffered so much grief that he ended up being taken over by a demon, right?
At Ferris Manus, anyways, he's looking anyways at his controls and he like freezes amidst that. What?
Yeah, the sword that took off your head happened to be possessed, and then that ended up possessing him.
And you notice that throws him for a loop, and at this point, anyways, he's not really paying attention to the game, so you take advantage of that, and you actually start your flying V of pawns forward.
The flying V.
The flying V.
We're going into hockey now.
Spoiler alert, anyways, for those who haven't watched The Mighty Ducks, which came out in the 90s. So, all of you youngsters, but the flying V would never work. I always, when I was a kid, I was like, why don't hockey teams use this? And then I watched it like a month or two ago. I'm like, oh, because it's stupid. It would never work.
And doesn't it completely get destroyed in another
The second one.
Yeah.
In the second one, they actually show what would happen if somebody actually used the flying V. And it was just like, they all get pancaked. And then there's nobody anyways between the whole team that's still up and the goalie. So, they just murder him. Team Iceland. But anyways, you're like WV anyways, and pawns start moving forward, and it's actually pushing his units back. And now that he's lost, like for instance, his horse and his queen, you're able to move him anyways more into an aggressive position.
At this point, I'd like to roll to see if I've gotten my
Max back.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
What am I rolling for that, anyways?
I don't know. What did we say? It's been a while since you've used it.
I've never thrown it before.
You had it in there. We made sure you looked for it. Pretty sure.
No, we never made a rule about me retrieving it.
Did we actually do that? I remember we talked about it though.
I said I wanted to.
I thought, okay. Did we though? Because it has that whole 3 ability things for changing. Did we use that instead?
Well, I also said I wanted to throw. You're like, yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, so what did you roll?
I rolled a 15 on dice. I don't know if that means
Let's
anything,
just
though.
say-
That's the problem, yeah, because if we didn't write any of the rules down for it, then we can't really... Okay.
If it's 15 up, I said it returns back. If it was like below 10, then smack him in the head. As damage. If
Or
it's
it
between
reappears
10
inside of you once
and
you're
14, it just
You take
doesn't
D20
go
worth
back.
of damage. Oh, I don't know about that. Just for brevity, let's just say, anyways, it takes, let's say, it takes an action.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So, because it takes an action, you can't actually move him into position because he has to stay there to summon his axe back. So you move a different piece.
Okay.
This is gonna be weird because you're not really getting into combat, so I don't know how that's really gonna be hurtful or helpful. But, anyways, so you move. Let's say you move the bishop in, anyways, to position that puts him in check. Okay.
Okay.
So he kind of realizes, anyways, he kind of gets his head back in the game. He kind of he's lost a lot of ground, but he's trying to figure out a way, anyways, to get past that. And your conversation, anyways, goes to his other brothers because he's like, I'm done talking about Fulgrim. I can't stand talking about Fulgrim anymore. Have you heard about any of my other brothers? Are there any of them still around?
I've heard about Vulcan.
Vulcan? Vulcan's
Yeah.
still around?
I don't know, but I just handed its Song of Entropy into Trazine.
You did what? At this point, okay, roll for dexterity.
Wow, that sucks. 7.
7. You don't see it coming because it's faster than you've seen anything move before, but he swings his hand out like this and he hits you. Roll a D8 for me, and you get sent. Oh, roll. Okay, so roll a D8, and then I need you to roll a D20.
That's me. Don't worry about it.
4
4 on which one?
and 4.
Jeez, wow. Okay, so you take 4 points of damage, and he knocks you 4 feet, anyways, into the air onto the chessboard. And in a booming voice, you can hear him, anyways. He's like, "I'm tired of dealing with you. You!" And he points to you. He goes, "Get up here, you're playing me now." So you guys switch positions. Change positions! All right, roll for intelligence.
You gonna use your hat?
Did I retrieve my hat?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
okay.
did. Yeah.
Then yeah, I would like to use my hat.
Okay, roll a d20.
All right. Natural 20.
Okay.
Oh!
Roll
Confirm it.
confirm.
Please confirm it. No, 17.
That would have been awesome.
And then for the actual dice roll, are you kidding me?
Natural 20?
What's the point of this hat? This hat's just good luck for 20s apparently. So yeah, I rolled 20.
Turns out, you are the best orc champion chess player in 7 galaxies. That's not saying much because you're the orc champion, but who have never won a Grand Mastery anywhere.
I'm one of
Usually-
3 orcs who knows the rules.
You know how the pieces work. Most of the time, anyways, when orcs play chess, they can get through about 3 moves before one of them gets frustrated
And punches the other one.
punches the other one. And then the board just gets smashed and they stop playing chess.
That's
But
why you play chess.
Do
as
you
an
know
orc.
how the chess pieces work? Do you know any strategies whatsoever? No. But, and what piece, as you stagger up anyways and try to collect yourself, what piece are you taking over for?
Well, when I have to technically take over the queen's
Nope.
piece.
Because you guys lost your queen because he had to go up and play chess. So what position are you taking? There are 2 bishops left. Obviously the castles are left. The king is left. And 1 horse. And pawns.
I'll take one of the bishops, I guess.
Okay, which one?
I don't know what the position.
Well, no. There's a black and white one.
Well,
Can only go on black spaces or white spaces. Which one are you taking?
Black, I guess.
Okay. Anyways.
You remember which color he was playing. Cool.
Right. Okay. So you get up there anyways, and Manus kind of glares anyways down at Uncle Bar, I'm here. And he kind of looks over at you and he goes, never played an orc before. This should be interesting. He does one of these and you can hear the clanking of his hands. And he starts moving pieces and you realize you're not going to win. The only thing you can do is find a way that you can set him off balance. So I need you to roll an intelligence check.
Oh my gosh.
You do realize he's the
Using
reason
the hat.
for it.
That's a 16 on
That's
that.
really Fulgrim. What? Uh-oh.
There's a clone of Fulgrim you can take your frustrations out on. Tristine has one.
He has everything.
16 on dice.
Okay, you didn't use your...
No, this is for the hat.
Oh, okay. So you get a +3?
Yeah.
How many more? You've got 2 more charges?
Yes.
Yes. That is going to be +3, right? So,
Yeah.
16.
16? Okay. So, like I said, you obviously you know you can't win. But it could be certain ways that you could distract him. Apparently, anyways, he's not a big fan of Yuxin over here. And were you actually, here's the question, were you paying attention to what he said when...
Something about handing over the staff thingy.
Oh, that's not what you mean. So you know anyways, he's a little touchy anyways when it comes to his brothers. So, I mean, he spent the entire time talking about Fulgrim, and the one time anyways he mentioned anything about Fulgrim, he kind of got stopped about it, and then he just barely mentioned Fulgrim, and he got boot kicked anyways down onto the chessboard. So maybe bringing up one of his brothers. Now, you rolled a what?
I rolled a 16.
Who ran the 16th Legion?
Who was in charge of it?
That's the black. That's the Black Legion. That
Oh,
would
really?
be Horus.
That's Horus. So you, just because anyways 16 popped into your mind, you're like, oh, we could talk about Horus.
Because, you know, as an orc, I happen to know what a Horus is.
Yes. And what his heresy was. Well, it was the biggest human war that ever took place against the Imperium, so, I mean, he is probably pretty famous in the orcs.
Yeah, probably.
He also was the triumphant hero, anyways, in the Ullanor campaign, which was against
The orcs, yeah.
the biggest orc warg the universe had ever seen. Until Yazgul, but even though they just brushed right by it, the beast.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Yeah, Ullanor, the biggest, Yazgul's the biggest warg since the Battle of Ullanor. It's like, what about the beast?
The what?
It's in the 32nd millennium.
So what?
That was in between, yes.
And it was, yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
so so real quick, anyways, what do you know about Horus?
What do me as a kid?
What is your character? So you're probably gonna have to roll for history.
That's not good.
Oh no.
We might be a little screwed right now. That is going to be a 0.
It's a 1. You knew that Horus ran, anyways, the 16th Legion. You vaguely remember it was called the Sons of Horus. And then he did a heresy. And you're pretty sure that he died. Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
You're not 100% on that one, but you're pretty sure.
Well, I'm gonna say it like it's truth, dang it.
Okay. Okay, in that case, anyways, roll for, just see how well you do, anyways. Roll for, it's not deception. What is it? It's
Persuasion?
performance. Let's go performance.
Performance. I got a +1 to that.
There you go.
So it's 14.
All right. So how would you perform this?
You're the brother of the other Primarchs, right?
Kind of gives you a weird look. He goes, Primarch? No, I'm a Primarch.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a Primarch. Or at least my original self was. I don't know what I am anymore.
The other Primarch. Horus? He died.
Looks at you and he goes, what?
Yeah.
He did. They got him. Well, that's outstanding. He slams his hand down anyways. When he slams his hand down, he hits the control and just one of his pawns moved. Obviously, completely, it's like, I mean, that was just not the piece to move. If you were looking at a real chessboard and there was like a chess master and they did that, the other person would just sit there for the next 2 minutes going, okay, what am I not seeing? Why did he do that? And then go, okay, and then just obliterate him because he realizes that it was a mistake. The question is, do you see the mistake? So roll for perception. I want you to roll for perception too. I want to see if you actually see it as well.
That is going to be... Perception is... Oh, wait. Perception is really good. So I got a 19.
16.
Okay. So you guys both see anyways that there's this huge mistake
Huge flaw.
and you could instantly go in for the kill.
Yeah, I'm going to do that then.
Okay. So what it is that it's a trap with the bishop and the horse. So you got to move the horse first, which you do, and then the bishop. But he's the bishop. So roll for dexterity with advantage because you're actually going to be moving the position that the bishop would normally
Well,
move.
it's good that it's with.
You and fours, man.
You sucked all the luck out of him and put it in that one dice.
I know.
Well, I had about 15.
Hey, you put a 1 in front of it.
What? Oh, okay.
So 17 dexterity. You said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17.
So you see it anyways, and you give him the thumbs up, and then you walk over to the place, and you get a check. Ferris Manus, anyways, he
Good
sees,
game.
sees that. He just like hangs his head at the feet. You got beat by a orc. This sucks. All right, and he hands you the key. A key, anyways. He says, you can leave. Authorize door. Good luck on the next mission. I'll go back to my cage. Kind of slunks off, anyways. And he pushes a button and opens up this giant hallway that he steps into. And you hear, anyways, over the intercom, he goes, position, sir. Manus sighs. And then it freezes. And so, congratulations, you beat Ferris Manus in a game of chess.
So I walk back down to join Vathor, and I'm like,
Vathor died.
Vathor. Oh,
Nurgle killed him, remember?
How hard
Well,
is it to remember just Anu? Okay, Anu.
Anu.
Just call him Anu.
I call him Anubis because that's actually Egyptian.
hold on.
Oh no. It's this entire time it's been Vathor.
The entire time it's been Vathor. Yeah.
I'd like to take this moment to thank
Yeah.
Sakrona here for being the producer. He may not always be right, but he's never in doubt.
Who's under his name? Oh, I know why I was under his name. It was because
They sat next to each other.
exactly,
Yeah.
and so I just undid the wrong camera. Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't put two and two together when at the very beginning I said
Vathor
Vathor
died.
died from the plague.
I forgot.
Nurgle got him.
All right. There we go. It's all fixed.
Okay. Good to know. Necrobarums. Necrobarums. Only you, Yuxin, would pick a name that no one could say.
Anu Kabarum.
Anu.
Yeah, and I said, you should just call him Anu. And you go like, no, Anubis. I'll call him Anubis. I'm like,
Yeah, because Anu just sounds dorky.
To be fair, the orc would probably short it down to something like that.
like Anu.
Anu.
Or
So
the
the
bus.
Anu
You call it the bus. Anubis.
Bram.
The bus.
The bus.
The bus. Anyways. So what are you doing?
I guess we're heading to the door.
Okay.
Opening it up.
You open it up, and the door, there's like a green outline that kind of comes out from it. And you look, and your map goes ding. So you look down at the map, and there is another right, and then
As you
yes,
go
yes.
left.
And then straight up, and then like curlicue, like all the way around, anyways, to a final destination that has got a picture that looks very. It's just like an emblem of the Necron.
Okay.
I actually
So-
look at the map to see if there's any other paths, just to be safe this time.
Roll for perception.
That is going to be. Perception is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Perception. I keep thinking perception's gonna be bad.
No, it's actually fairly decent. That's gonna be 15.
You notice that if you just take the door right in front of you with the skull and crossbones, it goes straight to where you need to go.
So,
Well, clearly that's the way I need to go then, so I'm gonna go through that door.
Oh, okay. What are you doing?
I'm not going through the door that has a skull and crossbones on it because, unlike my friend here,
Okay, so you're gonna take the long way.
Yeah.
Well, he's going. Let's start with. Never split up the party. I guess
Oh,
we
wow.
are this time.
Well, it is supposed to be a race, right?
So you get in there, and and you notice, anyways, as you walk through this long pavilion, and it is the Pavilion of Plagues. So every single little pavilion, anyways, has got somebody dying of some horrible disease. The Plague of Macedonia is like the first one, which actually did happen for people who want to know. One of the reason why the Romans were able to just kind of march through Macedonia, but. One of the reasons. There were others too, but as you're going through, you get about halfway through, and you notice that as you walk by one, anyways, there is it's open.
Oh no.
And as you look into it, anyways, there's nothing in there. It's a fairly small one. It's not like a pictogram like you've seen, anyways, on all the other ones. This one, it's like this little one, anyways, right before it kind of gets to a bend. As you get closer to it, the little hologram pops up, and it says, Mortarian's first syringe, dated 32 ME, and says underneath that threat level 49.
That's one less than the other one.
One less than a rock. So you notice that it's gone, though.
Well, that can't be good. I look around for a moment and I just keep running.
Okay.
Remembering.
Roll for perception real quick. At disadvantage, because you're not really paying attention.
Right, so that was actually 12.
12. Okay. You you don't really see anything, but you can kind of smell something, almost like almost like somebody blended sulfur, and like that rotten egg smell, and cinnamon. So it's almost horrible and almost pleasant. You don't quite know what to make of it.
meanwhile, me on the other hand, I'm just going. Okay.
You're about halfway through the cruise.
Just walking along.
Your corridor, anyways. This one though is the Museum of Chaos. So, and it's literally, anyways, all sorts of like demons of Zinches, and there's even like past one, anyways, and it's just this tentacle sitting there, and it's like the tentacle of Zinch. Threat level 2. And you pass another one, anyways, and it's this top hat, and it says the Hat of Zinch. Threat level maybe 3.
It's like threat level 500.
Oh
hat?
no!
What's in the hat?
And then you do actually, anyways, you go across, and then there is actually an empty stall you find as well. This one you walk up to, and it says, Shard of Zinch. Threat level 50.
Oh,
It's the same as a rock.
What do you do?
I keep going.
Okay. You're just like,
Like, I don't know what
it's not
it
my
does.
stuff. So,
I mean, what am I gonna do? Well, I guess I could go. Just so you know, you're missing an item from your museum here.
See if you can't see it with the cameras that he's currently staring at.
I'm pretty sure you know where it is, but just in case you didn't.
Keep on going.
okay. So, you get to a junction, anyways, and it's like right past the curly cue for you. It's not before you get to the next spot, anyways. There is kind of like a hall that both of them intercede to. And as you get to that hall, you both see each other. Actually, you get there first because you took
The direct
path. Yeah. You get there, and there stands a large man in front of you. He is in purple armor. He is slightly balding on top, but he is refusing to cut his long white hair that is coming down. It's all kind of tangled. And he's got kind of a crazed look in his eye.
Oh no.
And in one hand, he's holding obviously anyways, a blue pointy thing. And in the other hand, he's got what you're pretty sure
Is the syringe.
is the syringe of Mortaria. And he sees you anyways, and he takes the syringe and he locks it into this mechanism that is actually attached to the front part of his arm. That he rips out. There was a syringe in there that he throws. He kind of pulls out and he puts the Mortarian one in and he locks it in place. And then he puts this down anyways on the side and pulls out a plasma pistol.
Oh boy.
But he doesn't shoot it. He just sees you coming anyways. He just looks like he's just getting ready.
I need to get by.
And he kind of hazards you. Sorry, Jessa. I happen to be lost. Do you know which way to go? Or are you lost as well?
What are you looking for?
A way out. It's been quite some time since I've been here before, you see. Drazine gives me an open invitation whenever I want to come through here. You mind, anyway? Let's go through about 18 actions now. Trying to figure out which one I want to give him. No, we're not doing that again. You mind, Judge Anyways, helping me find a way out? It looks like you have some sort of directional device there.
I do pull out the map, and I'm just like, well,
Are you going to show it to him, or are you just looking at it like 20 feet away from him? Yes. Look. And you mind if I take a look at it? About that point, anyways, is when you come into the aisle, and you see both of them. I want you to roll for perception for me.
Well, at least it isn't a 1. It's a 2.
And you think, my, that is a strange-looking fellow over there. The only thing that you can determine out of him is that that is definitely some sort of Astartes. Judging by his height and the armor that he is wearing. And the armor is purple.
Did I hear any of the conversation that's going on?
No.
he wants to get out.
He kind of looks behind. He's trying to talk to you, and then he sees him coming behind anyways. And he goes, "Hold your sir! Stand back! I'll get him!"
It's like, no, wait. This one works with me.
Very well. Do you also have a means of escaping this foul place?
Maybe. It's more pointed towards something else other than escaping.
Okay, and it's at this moment, anyways, that you realize that you can start lying again if you really want to.
Okay.
I figured you would have tried something anyways along the lines, or I'm attempting to lie. But, okay. Anyways. So he's like, well, I was just about to actually check his directional device out. You mind if I take a look?
He's got a syringe with poison with stuff in it. It's a threat level 49. Don't know what that means.
Oh, it's the first syringe of Mortarion. Yes. I'm borrowing it from Trazine. Like I said, I have an open invitation to the Museum of Solnus, and every once in a while I'll come down and pick up something for my research, of course.
Then why were you about to shoot me?
That. Well, you see, you startled me, good sir. I do apologize. You can see he actually puts his plasma pistol back in its holster, but he doesn't button the holster back up. So, you mind if I look at the map, sir?
You give him the map.
I'll show him the map.
Okay, he looks at the map, and he does like this anyways, and then flicks it like this, and it actually spins the map and opens it up. So, Trazine actually really did give you a map of his museum. He just thought that you guys were too stupid to figure out anyways where to go. So he just it was like, he made a Google map out of it. So he goes, oh yes, that's quite sad. Yes, this will help me. Thank you. And then he just turns and goes to leave. Taking your map.
It's not my problem. I just go through the door as he's walking away.
Follow him?
No, I just go through. Yeah, I just go through the door.
I have a question for you, sir.
So he goes, yeah, I'm very busy. Come.
How would you like to help acquire an item before my friend does?
Item? I've already got the two items. I mean, I already got the one item I needed. I'm borrowing it, you see, for my research.
You see, if he wins, a whole bunch of orcs may end up flooding into the galaxy, plundering and whatever. Because I don't know, he's part of what I think he is part of.
So he looks over and he goes, really?
I mean, yeah.
How are you going to do that, dear boy? I thought only the biggest orcs were able to have wargs.
I'm doing that.
Really, just the only moment Gratz realized how small he really is. It's the first time Gratz ever been sad. Of course you will, sir. Of course you will. I have complete faith in you. And he just keeps walking. But yes, the door.
Okay.
We get to the
I'm
door.
gonna start
Oh, okay.
following him because I don't have the map anymore. I'm not going to try to.
Mouse. So who are you following?
I'm following Seth.
Oh, okay. So you guys get to the door, and you can see on your map anyways you need to go this way, and you start to go that way, and he goes, good luck with whatever you're doing. I'm going to take off. Toodaloo. And he's about to take a step that way, and all of a sudden you hear over this giant intercom. You will not get your warg, sir, unless you stop him. You must stop Fabius Bile. He's taking my stuff. At that point, anyways, there's like echoes kind of through the corridors. And Fabius Bile, that's who it was,
I was assuming.
Kind of
that, like,
slowly turns and looks at you. Looks at you and goes.
Start chasing after him.
Okay.
Whoa!
Okay, roll for, what are you doing? Too late.
Well,
Roll for...
I got the only map right now, so
roll
give
for- Yeah. Dexterity. Or athletics.
athletics. Okay, so 23.
Okay, 23. And you tear off as fast as you can after him, and you didn't react quick enough, so you're just standing there.
okay.
So you guys get around the corner, you're right on his heels, you're really close, and then until you realize he's like turns anyways, and he starts like waving that needle anyways in your face. Ah! Stay back, you savage!
I would like to take a swing at that arm in particular.
Okay, go for it.
First off.
This would be a dexterity.
Or dexterity?
Yeah.
That's going to be 21 and just,
Is that to punch him?
No, to
No.
swing my axe at it. The
Oh.
arm.
Okay. I thought you were trying to like swat at it.
And then that is going to be the 3. So I think that's still the Voton.
Well, it was the last time that you rolled the 3.
Yeah. So it's the Voton.
Oh, I actually need to roll a dice. So you swing your axe at him anyways, or at his arm, in particular, his arm. And he pushes back his arm so that you miss it, but as your axe goes by, he actually jabs it with the syringe. As you jabs it with the syringe, you notice that your axe immediately just starts rusting. The whole thing starts rusting over. And you're like, oh, like this, and you go to shake it. Until, for the rest of the game, you can't use the third one. The one that it was on. So you only have 2 left.
Oh, that sucks.
Hey, it was threat level 49. But while this is taking place, you're still chasing, right? And he gets around to a bendy bit, and as he's coming around, he's looking back at you, and he turns around, and he runs right into a pillar. He hits it anyways, but he hits it hard enough, he bounces off of it, and you're right behind him, right? And you're looking at your axe going, ah, like this. And you turn around, and he whacks you, and he lands on you. So, I mean, Stardy's power armor, the whole thing just... and he's both lying there for a second, and he goes, ugh. Tell you what. How about a challenge? Yes, a challenge. If you win, I'll give you the syringe back.
I roll over and I just try to grab the syringe from him before he has a chance to get up.
Okay. While you do that, you don't notice, but in his other hand, he takes out the shard. And he stabs anyways into your arm and you roll a D100.
86.
So in your mind, anyways, after he stabs you, you look in horror as all of a sudden your arm starts to turn blue, and it starts to tentacle out anyways into this like weird octopus squiddy shaped tentacle. And you start turning down, and you realize anyways that he has stabbed you with the shard of Zinch, and you are turning into a demon of the war. Or so you think. You really aren't. But you think you are.
Oh! Not again!
I don't think that's happened to you.
No, but changing shapes.
Oh, yeah, good point.
This is like the 3rd time I've swapped minds with him. I've turned into an Eldari.
Right.
And now, in my mind, I'm turning into
A demon.
a demon.
That gives him enough time that he rolls over anyways, and he looks at you and he goes, a challenge? I say?
I tried to use my tentacle hand to still grab at the... Wait.
So in your mind, anyways, you go to try to grab at it, but you can't really quite use the tentacle part. Meanwhile, he's looking at you, and you're literally taking your hand, and you've got it closed like this, trying to... He kind of looks down, anyways, at you as it kind of trying to... like, he slaps your head, he goes, "Stop that. A challenge, sir. What do you say? It's the only way you're getting this stuff back. Proceed."
I'm gonna try headbutt him instead.
Okay. So you go headbutt him, and then you realize, anyways, that your head no longer is the head. It's like this long, tentacle-y thing with 2 eyeball stalks. So in your mind, anyways, you're trying to hit him, anyways, with 2 eyeball stalks. Which really means, anyways, that you're just staring intently at him, and you're just getting closer. He kind of leans back. He goes, "Is that a yes?" I'm sorry, dear sir. I just don't. I know I'm one of the. I am one of the Emperor's children, but I just don't do that kind of thing. That's Fulgrim's part. You know, he'll bet anything. Even an orc, I guess.
By this time, I'll probably have walked over there.
So you just wandered up. Okay. So you're taking in this whole thing. You have no idea what's going on with him, but
I do kind of humorous, actually.
In your mind, you're doing a great job, by the way. Those eye stalks are just wailing into him. It just doesn't.
I'll wear him down eventually.
Pretty much.
My assault will be endless, and he will fall by my 2 stalks.
You hear him say this.
And what sort of challenge would it be?
Well, as you know, us Emperor's children, anyways, are quite fond of the most, satisfying things you possibly can. And of course, one of those things is music. So, it's quite simple. Whoever can play the best music wins.
Oh, right. I actually gave you something that may help you, that. I gave you the squig pipe.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. Not that I can use it now because I'm turning into a monster in my brain.
What? I dare say, sir. Don't worry. You already are a monster in everyone's eyes. And you're quite large. Quite large.
If I had my fist, I'd...
It's like you try kicking him, and that's another tentacle.
It's like... Ah!
Well, it's also followers of Zench. Remember, they can shoot lightning.
Would I know that as an orc?
Maybe. Roll for intelligence. See if you know.
No. No, I would not.
Never mind. I just think it would have been kind of funny if you're like, "Oh, take that." He's like, "What?"
I'm still trying to fight the guy.
Okay.
I'm like a confused animal. What else am I supposed to do?
I can't use an instrument that requires blowing into?
Well,
I don't
he was talking to you, though. Are you going to acknowledge the fact that he was talking to you?
No, because I'm still freaking out by the fact that my arms are now tentacles. My head is now 2 eye stalks. And no matter what I'm doing, I can't hurt the guy that's somehow turned me into a monster. In my own eyes.
Oh, no. Yes. I should have said 1 stock that way. My own eye. So if anybody's going to take control of the situation, it's going to have to be you.
Yeah. Well,
are you trying anything else other than trying to...
I try wrapping my arms around his one arm. So it's just like this.
So as you're doing that anyways, he just kind of lets you hold on to his arm as he walks past it and he goes, "Do we have a deal, sir?"
well,
all of a sudden you hear over the boxes, by the way. Oh, I'll allow it.
Okay. Anyways, I mean,
Oh, get off him, you stupid fool!
I have no idea he was talking about me.
You see these scarabs come down anyways, and they crawl through anyway, and they grab onto you again. I take it you freak out again.
Yes.
the tentacles, they are helping.
This time though, in your eye anyways, you can see them crawling up the eye stalks and into your eyeballs, and they're along your tentacles, but then when they're done anyways, you're back to your orcish self, writhing on the ground, of course.
So, here's the thing. I can't really play any instruments. You do have a squeak pipe. So it would be up to you.
Well, apparently we have to now, so I might as well.
Okay, so Fabius goes, "Oh, excellent, excellent!" And he reaches into his back. He's got like a backpack thing. He reaches into it anyways and unfolds. It's this little tiny thing. He unfolds it and turns it into this electric guitar. And he hits this button on his armor, and two speakers pop up anyways right next to him. Like a noise marine. So he does a couple of picking anyways, and then he shreds out Stairway to Heaven. And when he gets to the guitar solo, it's just like anyways a live version of Jimmy Page doing it. It's just like awesome. It's just shredding. And then when he's done anyways, he puts it all back and he goes, "Well, I think I shall be taking my leave, unless you think you can beat me."
This is a performance check, right?
It's a performance. And because it's a squig pipe, which is an orcish weapon, I'll even allow you to roll an advantage.
Well, I don't think I could get much better than that. 18.
Okay. So, put the squig pipe in. Its eyeballs open up anyways as soon as you put your mouth over its mouth, apparently. That's the way it works, if I recall, right? And you blow into it, it's like... its eyeballs bug out. And you squeeze. And you start playing the song anyways. And you know the song. And you go, "Long time ago, me and my brother got here. We were hitchhiking down a long and lonesome road. All of a sudden, shine the shiny demon in the middle of the road. And he said, 'Play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul.'" So. And you do the perfect version, anyways, of the greatest song in the world. This is just a tribute. Which, obviously, anyways, is far better than Stairway to Heaven, especially done on a squig pipe. Then there's this quiet, Fabius Bile, obviously, shocked. And all of a sudden, you hear over the intercom, "I do believe he has beaten you. Miss Fabius Bile, could you please return my stuff?" Bile. And he goes, "No!" And he goes, and that's about the time anyways. He turns around and tries to go around the pillar, and then he comes back and he goes, Fine, I'll return it. Here you go." And he hands you the syringe of Mortarion. And he hands you
The shard of Zinch.
Shard of Zinch. Roll a d100 for me. The reason why he came back, though, you notice, is that around behind this pillar, anyways, you see 4 Necron Destroyer Overlords. And they all have their gauze flares, anyways, pointed at him. And he's like, "Fine." And he hands them both to you, and he goes, "Can I now leave, Trazine?" And Trazine's like, "No, I think you'll be part of my collection this time, Fabius." Fabius goes, "Not today!" And he goes taking off down the other side with the Destroyer Overlords chasing him. And that is the last we see of Fabius Bile. What did you roll?
79.
79. Reroll. We've already done that one.
21.
We've done that one too. Yeah, we did that one already. Okay.
How is it out of 100 you've rolled?
90.
Roll again.
It's literally what you just got. So yeah, no. Roll again.
65.
Okay, I'm just gonna do one that was underneath that. So as you grab it, anyways, you can feel the warp kind of jolt through you, and all of a sudden you see this giant green pussy thing, anyways, kind of growing out of your arm, and it turns, anyways, and looks at you, and all of a sudden yellow eyes pop out of it, and it kind of, and then its mouth kind of comes out of this big ball of pus, and like. Two hands, anyways, reach out, anyways, and it slowly pulls itself out of your arm. Roll a d4 for me, real quick. You're like, I don't know what this is, but this doesn't sound right.
It's Nurgling.
I was about to say, it sounds like a nurgling.
4.
You take 4 damage. Anyways, and it splats onto the ground, and it kind of stands up on these little tiny legs, and it turns around and looks at you, and it goes, yes. You have been chosen by Nurgle. You now have a little Nurgling that follows you everywhere you go. Calls you father. And does your bidding.
Okay.
It's got 4 hit points.
So you're the one with the map.
It's like, I look at and try to see if there's the camera. It's like, I hold up my axe. I'm like, can you fix this?
Not from here. You've got one more quest. Off you go.
So he was the second one?
Maybe. You'd like to know?
I guess we continue back the path that we were originally going.
Yeah.
Before you can go anywhere, Babby's had given you also your map back, but before you can go anywhere, the Nurgling reaches up, grabs the map, and goes, and starts tootling down the way you guys originally went.
Okay.
So you're gonna follow the Nurgling?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys follow the Nurgling, you get back to the right path, you get all the way to where there's that like Necron figure, and it is, and you open the door, and there is this giant table, and at the head of the table sits Drazine. Goes, oh, I'm glad you made it all the way through to the 3rd challenge. Congratulations. Today, we're going to play a game. Poker.
Great.
The winner of this game wins the prize.
Either way, is his axe gonna end up being fixed?
So the winner of this game, if you win, sir, you'll get your all cord.
Can I have my axe back too?
You get an all cord.
Can I have my axe fixed too?
And the commander, Tusker, the demon killer. If you win, you get the emblem of your house. House. Sept. Titulcus. Yes, Titulcus. With this emblem, you can reclaim your national wealth, your Sept's wealth, which includes, by the way, the Celestial Orrery.
What?
Orrery.
Okay.
Roll for intelligence. Both of you. If I win, I have a fine place where you both can stay for the rest of time.
For God's sake.
11.
Good grief.
Sorry, no, 10.
You got a 10.
I rolled a 16. I have a minus.
For intelligence, yes.
8.
8?
Yep. I rolled a 5.
Okay, roll for your Nurgling.
Okay. It's like he gets a 20. It's like, what the frick? No. He did work.
Okay,
He got a 3.
Nobody knows what that is. Alright, well, okay. I'm just going to tell you because If I don't, then it's a piece of information I just threw in here that's just not going to do anything. The Celestial Orrery is a weapon device that the Necrons have on one of their planets that literally is the universe. The interesting part about it, you should recognize this anyways. The interesting part about it is that if you move it's like a planetarium, but if you move one of the planets there, it literally moves in real space. It controls the universe pretty much. There have been times anyways where they have deemed a planet anyways a risk to the rest of the galaxy, and they've literally just crushed it into non-existence. Technically, anyways, your set actually had control of that at one point. But with the reawakening and the blowing up of your planet not once, but twice. That disappeared, and now it's run by, I can't remember who runs it now, but they have literally been sworn to never use it. But if you show up with your emblem anyways, you can retake control of it because that is the law. One thing we do know about the Necrons is they follow the law. Their own law, at least.
Well, they may bend it, though.
Oh, yeah. So, everybody get anyways what happens if whoever wins, wins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You figured out anyways what happens if Trazine wins?
Yes.
Okay. So, there are some advantages and disadvantages that you can use at particular times. So, if you want to roll, like, for instance, a strength anyways, and you get higher than 18, you can smash the table hard enough that the top 3 cards in the deck flash to you. So you hit it, and the cards are... if you roll plus 18 on intelligence, you can see 1 card from each competitor per round. If you roll 18 plus on perception, after the river is flipped, the 2 other players reveal 1 of their cards. Now, that's the positives. Here's the downsides. For rolling for all of those anyways, if you roll a 4 or under, you try to smash the table and it goes horribly wrong. The D20 is worth the damage plus discard your highest card because you were caught cheating. D20, if you get a 4 or under an intelligent, you can't figure out poker. You can't look at your cards until the river comes out. And then, if you get a 4 or under on perception, you got this. But you really not. Every card you have, you see as a suit, but it's the opposite. So, like, if you've got clubs in your hands, you think that they're spades, and vice versa.
Okay.
When I did that last one, I was thinking of Ocean's 11. I think I was like,
all right.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. We're playing 3 rounds. Actually, we're gonna play 3 rounds. Maybe 2. Here's the deal. What game should we play first? 3 rounds. We're gonna play 3 rounds. You decide the first round. Sir Orc.
Excuse me?
What type of poker are we playing the first round?
Oh,
Jeez.
blackjack.
that's not poker.
It's not poker. Try again.
I don't know. It's almost like I've only played poker once in my life.
Well, he'll be perfect as being the orc anyways then. Doesn't know how to play. Okay, I guess we're playing 2 rounds then. What's the first round we gotta play?
5 cards stat.
5 card stat. Okay. Does anybody want to use, because he's going to be dealing with this, does anybody want to use any of their strength, dexterity, or strength, dexterity, or perception? Or intelligence?
I'll try intelligence.
Okay.
With my luck, I'll be.
Roll a d20.
Oh! Natural 20.
Okay.
Thankfully. Oh, does that mean I actually know stuff now about my past 2 since it's an intelligence check?
Let's see the Lazarus one. Actually, we're not supposed to see your card. We can see his the first card for him, and then for me. One of the 9 of clubs. Oh yeah. So all that stuff I said, anyways, about the orrery. Now you know. I don't have to come up with anything new. All right. So you know how poker is played. So this game is called 5 Card Stud.
Yeah.
You get to look at your cards. You try to figure out what hands you want to use, and then there's a round of betting. After the first round of betting, then you ask the dealer for how many cards that you want to switch out.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you have any threes? Oh, sorry, wrong game. Oh, no reason this can't be funny. For fun. I don't get visitors very often. Oh, what did your wager, sir?
What sort of wager do we even? What do we get? What?
You just have coins, right?
Oh yeah.
So?
How many coins
This
did
is
we start
over
off with?
basically our
How many
lives.
coins did we start off with? I forgot because I haven't spent any.
3,000.
3,000?
Yes. How many do you have left?
I will bet
I have 900.
500.
4.
I'm an orc.
Okay. He bets 500. Use it.
Okay. I'll call.
Okay. I suppose I'll call too. Oh, and the card that he sees, you can't get rid of either.
That's fine.
Okay. How many cards do you want?
2.
Okay. How many cards do you want?
3.
You can sit with a pair. I think I'll take 2. Well, what's your wager, sir?
I put another 50 on the pile.
50. Our first deal, 500 gold pieces. Second deal, 50. Well, you didn't get whatever you wanted. What are we doing over here? Jeez. We should play poker sometime.
We have played poker.
For real money. Is that one time you're referring to?
Yeah, that's the one time I was referring to. I did exceptionally well, surprisingly enough.
How much have I been drinking?
Not too much, actually, at that point.
Oh.
I am gonna pull.
Too rich for your blood. Oh. Very well, I call. What do you get?
I've got nothing.
Got a pair of jacks. I win.
Ah, so
That's one for me.
I should have had a pair of aces.
We all should definitely play poker for real money at some point. Very well.
What?
Who are you looking at?
Nothing.
Which game shall we play this time?
I don't know the different games. I don't know why you keep asking me.
Okay. Let's take a step out of character here for a second. So there is 5 card stud. There's 5 card draw. There is 7 card draw, 7 card stud. There's Texas Hold'em. That's probably the most well-known game now. That's the one with the river, the flop, all that stuff.
5 card draw.
Doing 5 card draw again?
Yeah. And I would
Wait,
like
5 card draw. I can't remember how to do that.
Well, there's one where you have 2 down and you have 3 cards.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But I'm not sure if that was stud or draw.
Well,
But either way.
It's the opposite of the one that we just did anyway, so. Yeah. All right, does anybody want to roll dice anyways to see if they can...
I will use my strength roll.
Okay.
That is... I got +5, right? 23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just want what's on dice, 18.
Okay, what was it again? Okay, so you get to see anyways the top 3 cards. You don't get to see them, but he does.
Okay.
Okay. What?
Oh, I thought you. No.
All right, so this card actually stays up.
All right.
All right.
So for anyone who wants to see it.
All right. Your wages, sir.
50.
Sorry, here. I got the partitioning, so I gotta show you what it is. 50. I'll raise it to 100.
150.
Okay.
Means 100 to you.
Okay.
All right, and then 50 to me. All right, it's all called. All right.
Oh.
You got it, Cameron.
What is stuff at?
Your wages, sir.
6. 25.
I'll up it by 1,000.
I fold.
I can't. I don't have the money.
Oh, that's too bad. I win too. Last round. Gonna make it count. Let's play baseball. So baseball is I give you 9 cards each.
Okay.
And you put them face down. And the first person flips over their first card, and then it goes to a round of betting to see who thinks that they can beat that card. And then it goes, and then they go and they flip, and they keep flipping until they beat that card, be it like a pair or even a card higher.
Okay.
Until you run out of cards, pretty much. So it's like last man standing kind of concept.
Okay.
All right. Does anybody want to use their dice?
I'll roll for intelligence again.
All right.
17.
I guess I'll roll for strength too.
All right. So 17 doesn't get you anything, but it doesn't hurt you either.
Okay.
That's going to be 21.
You can see the first 3 cards.
Yes, I can see the first 3 cards.
What?
Why are you keep lying over here? Like someone's coming up behind me and they're like, yes. Okay.
Nope. All right.
You don't look at him.
Oh.
God. It's the Chrono over here cheating. I'm going to look at my cards and then arrange them the way that I want. Alright, so you flip the first card.
Well, I hope you'll be able to beat that.
I wager 5 gold coins.
I wager 1,000 coins.
Ooh.
I have like 100. So
So unfortunately, you're out. Down to me and you. I'll see your bet, sir. I got 5. That's more than 2. No. Now there's another. So now it's your bet.
Got 2?
I got a 5.
Got a 5?
Yeah.
Another 500.
I'll see your 500, and I'll raise you 1,000.
That's all I've got, so.
So, that's when you would say something like, all in.
All in.
Okay. All right, I'll call. Well, no, actually, you flip. Sorry. My bad. What is it?
9.
That beats it. I got a 7, so I gotta keep flipping until I beat it. There's a 4. There's a 3. It's a possible straight, actually. It's a 10. And how many? Pair of 4s.
Okay.
So you gotta beat a pair of 4s.
Mm. 4. I also got a pair of 4s.
well,
Doesn't beat it.
Pair of 8s?
You have 2 pair?
yeah.
Yeah, 2 pair.
Like, I got a pair of 8s. Also known as 2 pair because you have 4s there. Alright, let's see. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I got 2 pair there. But
They're low.
they're lower. So you win.
Yes! The dumbest one won. Let's go.
So I won 2 games. You won 1. We didn't keep track of the coins, did we?
Well, I just won 1,500 gold.
Right. So you should be at what? 4,500?
Yeah.
You have no gold. Right? Pretty much.
I have like 124.
24? Okay.
And the reason why I haven't won 2 of them is because I've been.
We
I
went to
haven't had
1,000!
them out,
I don't
yeah.
have any. Oh, well. Out you go.
So it doesn't even make any sense for me to stay at the table. Or should I just go?
All in. You bet 100.
Alright, well, I guess because we weren't really paying attention, having too much fun doing this, we'll play one more game of baseball. Winner, take all.
Okay.
You guys want to do any rolling? This is the last one.
Yeah, I'll do another
Sure.
strength roll. 19.
Alright,
15 for intelligence.
so, no, but you can see the top 3 cards.
Alright.
Again.
Here, let me shuffle this one more time. Alright, so there's no betting this time anyways. You're just going to start, and then we'll just go around, and whoever wins this wins everything. You win the log. You win the emblem. I win you guys. Good thing this is our last round of doing Bilko's Brigade. Because if I win, actually kind of be a fitting end to this, how it fizzled out. But, alright.
Right?
Now, this time,
I know. I got it.
I'm just going to do it this way.
For people who can't see what he's doing, he's just dealing to himself. He's dealing in 3 piles.
So then I'm going to look at all of them, which one I like anyways. I'm going to keep that one. No? You don't have to lay them out all the way too either. I always just do it like this.
Well, it helps me to see it, so.
Alright. So flip your first card, sir. 7. I also got a 7. And I also got a 9.
Okay. That.
Got a 2. The next 3 cards? Or 2 cards,
Well,
rather?
until you beat
Until you
a
beat
9.
a 9.
Queen.
Does it?
2. King.
Jack. 7. There are 7.
7.
Oh, I've got a nice place for my patio for you.
King. Pair of kings.
Oh, boiled again.
Pair of 10s.
That's 2 pair. 10's 5.
10s and 5s. All right.
Got Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah.
10, 6, 6, 6, 8. Straight. I think. Yep.
Okay.
I got a straight. You have to beat a straight. Oh! I think I have some new things for my collection.
Only 3 of a kind.
That
Kings.
does not beat a straight.
I know. I'm aware.
I have 3 pair.
Yeah, no. Full house would win you, though.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
So, about 50 years later, Fabius Bile has snuck yet into the Museum of Solace. He has to be going around the bend trying to sneak back and get the 2 things that he lost. And he notices anyways, holding the first syringe of Mortarian is a rather familiar looking orc. Which he thought peculiar. But as soon as he opens the door, he tranks the orc and takes the Mortarian syringe and then locks him back in. And then, when he goes over to the shard of Zinch, there is a strange-looking nerdling holding onto it, presenting it to a rather strange-looking Necron who just looks confused. And unfortunately, that is where we end the session. Yes. Well, I didn't think it was going to end that way, but congratulations. You became part of Museum of Solace. And thank you guys, anyways, for...
Yeah, the cards.
No.
I give them all to you. But thank you all, anyways, for joining us. I want to thank Sakrona over here, anyways, for doing the producing. Yuxin for being here for all the times, anyways, that we did it. And coming up with a name that no one can pronounce. And hopefully you join us this upcoming month for something that Colin actually wanted us to do, which is our Idiot's Guide for Warhammer 40k. Thank you for joining us. And hopefully we will talk to you or see you guys anyways in a week or 2.
Yeah.
Toodaloo. Oh, and buy the book.
Bye.